Hey guys, so I have some good news and some bad news. I still have a lot to say about what happened to me, and I haven't even covered everything yet. Um, so if you already thought that there was a lot, um, you haven't even seen it all. I have still not received an apology for the doxing or for all the lies that were spread about me online and the posting in the Are We Dating the Same Guy group. No apology. And I, the people who are going to need to know about what happened, um, you know, well, their response is going to say some will be saying something by their response. Um, the danger that potentially is here, um, I just want to point out that the Fire Mecha owner, their response to getting caught has been nothing short of um, unhinged. So, and that's my this part is my message to the people who need to know about the unhinged. Um, at this point, I've covered probably 70% of all of the lies that were spread about me. So if you question any of that, um, don't worry, there's more coming. But that is what the majority of the other videos are debunking those lies. Okay, so you can see for yourself that they're lies. What needs to be talked about next is the Fire Mecha owner's response. They went on their Fire Mecha business account. Okay. I did work for Fire Mecha. Okay. I will be covering all of that. Haven't really have mentioned it once, but there's text messages and emails regarding the work that I did for Fire Mecha. The response from the owner to getting caught. When I say danger, um, the owner is not in danger. That's not what I'm saying. The so you need to know when I when there's a whistleblower, okay, and I'm just gonna say this because it's worth being said that I think a lot of people they understand when there's a whistleblower at like a company that they don't like. Like, let's say there was like a Amazon whistleblower that exposed something with Jeff Bezos, or there's some kind of government or military whistleblower that comes out and exposes this corruption. Okay, and it's really easy to say, "Oh gosh, we're so glad this whistleblower came out, put themselves on the line, and now we know about this corruption." And actually, look up the Boeing whistleblowers. I think there were two, but at least the one life was threatened. Okay, and so we think Boeing Boeing bad, because not only did a whistleblower have to come out and expose the corruption that was there, but then the retaliation from Boeing was bad, bad, bad. So we don't like Boeing. And we don't, when whistleblowers are important, right? Anyways, so a whistleblower who's still been protected leaked this stuff to me. Now, you need to understand that because it's all true, what Corrine wrote, and it's all lies, that is why you're seeing the response that we've seen. So I'll just break it down really simple. When I defended myself from the lies, the response was, hey, I agree, this guy needs to trend away, which, look up what that means. That means stay away, go away. He should avoid anyone in Arizona because I have friends with guns that care about me. That was response number one. We have number two. So, secondly, my friend who also exposed the lies that Corrine was spreading about me. So so I started first with defending myself. A friend of mine came alongside me to defend myself and also says, hey, let's have a conversation. Maybe you can issue an apology. An apology is a really good idea. Corrine called the police on them and tried to get them in trouble. Okay. Now, I have that police report. You understand? So, Corrine gets caught doing something bad. Their response is to appeal to people with guns. You understand? So, as of now, if you are in any sort of position of authority, as of now, your name is not going to get anywhere. However, if there are people, so this is predatory, okay? You need to understand that when you dox someone, when you go online and spread nasty, nasty rumors, which I've gone over extensively, just false allegations, okay, to destroy someone's reputation, that's predatory behavior. And, I mean, we won't mention that right now. There's a lot more. There's a lot more. So we need to understand that a person who has no remorse for doxing someone and destroying their reputation, spreading lies about them, and the lies in every single conceivable way, okay? People who think it's a good idea to protect a predator like that, at this time may want to stop and think about whether that is the position that they would like to have in any of this. Now, Corrine can still come and contact me. I've already talked about that in other videos, the best way to do it, and apologize for all of this, for all of what they did to me. And that just hasn't come. So far as we can tell, there's no remorse. There's no acknowledgement. There's not even an acknowledgement that anything they did was wrong. Okay. Now I want you to flip it around. If you're in any position of authority. Imagine that you have a guy in your community who's doing something predatory towards one of the women in the community. And the woman speaks up about it and says, hey, this guy did this predatory stuff against me. And not only is this hearsay, but I have all the evidence. And the people who have some say, some authority in the community, maybe they're like an admin or something. When that woman comes to you and says, this man who's in your community and been in your community for a long time acted predatory towards me, and I'm asking you for not only to look at what happened, but to let's do something about this. The guy has won't even acknowledge that what they did was wrong. They show no remorse, which everybody knows a person who shows no remorse is the most likely to keep doing it again. Also, we all know that this guy has a history of doing this. This isn't even the first time, and everybody fucking knows it. Everybody. For example, the people that I've talked to some people about what is going on with Corrine, and it's basically been this isn't the first time, and everybody knows Corrine is does this kind of stuff, whatever that fucking means, and they're just allowed to just keep on being a predator in the community. I'm not kidding. Now, the people who look the other way, so when the woman comes and says, hey, this guy who's been in your community for a long time did something predatory to me, he won't apologize. There's no indication of remorse. And you're going to say, just look the other way. I've been told to go find a new hobby to protect the predator. Imagine the woman saying, hey, a guy in your community did this stuff to me. And you say, yeah, well, that's too bad, but maybe you should go find a different hobby. Okay? This is a really bad look for you, the person who told me that. And you still have an opportunity to do the right thing. When someone doxes someone, when someone goes online to 60,000 people and spreads rumors and then has DMs with their friends spreading more rumors, like hoping that they're gonna fucking stick, stirs up people to think that they need to send me messages about I better stay away because Corrine has people with guns around. That is the effect of the lies. I've gone through this, what has been posted already extensively, and there's stuff I haven't even gone through yet. So this hypothetical guy that is being a predator and this woman comes forward and you say, maybe you should go find a different hobby, or yeah, they're just kind of like that. We all just sort of put up with it. You understand that's the message that I'm getting so far? The message I'm getting so far is Corrine is just kind of like this and just has, all these victims all around, and we just basically put up with it. When you flip it around, and if we told this story as if, this was happening from a man to a woman, um, you know that you would take action. You have a sexist bias if you think that this type of thing, you can just look the other way because I'm male. If that's what you're doing, you need to check your biases, okay? I'm not saying that is what you're doing, but it's starting to look that way. So, as I mentioned before, another whistleblower who came forward to defend me, Corrine called the police on them. And then when I came forward to defend myself, Corrine echoed the statements about guns and said, if I don't like guns, I should avoid anyone in Arizona. They also wrote that they retract nothing of what they've done or said. Okay? Imagine a man who was in your community that not only assaulted someone in your community, but had a history of doing it. And then when you go to them and say, look, can you admit that this was wrong? We're looking for an apology. And they say, I retract nothing of what I've done. And you want to keep that person around to just do it again to the next person? Part of the reason that I can say this stuff now is because I've gone through extensively debunking a bunch of the lies, okay? And there's more because I haven't gone through everything yet. Now, Corrine entertaining the gun threats on Twitch, is extremely disturbing. And then they literally wrote, I retract nothing. They wrote that publicly. I've never received an apology for the stuff that Corrine did to me. Mention this in almost every time that I talk about it. And the original whistleblower who told me about this was terrified. The original whistleblower who told me about this was so close to not sharing the screenshots with me because they were terrified of Corrine. Now, I don't know all of the history of this community, but the way that this person talked about, they were like, I think I need to let you know something, but I need to somehow get a deep and how do I put this? a type of promise that they could trust that their name would never come forward. And that is the best thing that I could give to them. And that is not going to change. But the way that they talked about it, I mean, the way that they talked about how afraid they were of Corrine if it got back that they were the person that leaked this to me. There is some weird history with Corrine if that's the case. I mean, I am learning firsthand that there's no problem talking about guns when you're caught. There's no problem calling the police on people when you're caught. What in the world did Corrine do in the past before I even moved here? I don't know. In lighter news, Fire Mecca sent me an email, and this is very, very weird to me, but you know how Corrine, and we'll talk about this more. Corrine was terrified that when I went shopping, and they weren't actually terrified, but they made up a story, okay, because all of it is fucking lies. But what is so weird, what is so ironic and stupid and hypocritical and absolutely asinine and unhinged is Corrine wrote all this stuff about how when I ordered something from their house, it was so bad because I showed up for the in-store pickup, or the local pickup, and I happened to be shopping with a friend of mine, and Corrine wrote how that was like such an uncomfortable and essentially terrifying experience for them. These are the lies, because it wasn't. It was perfectly cordial and normal. And now that there's a brick and mortar store, I can't imagine how is Corrine going to have a brick and mortar store where anyone can walk in unannounced. I mean, it seems absolutely absurd. If a close friend of yours who you've gone on vacation with, that you share intimate details of your life with, that you look for emotional support and you emotionally support them, that you're business partners with. I mean, Corrine obviously trusted me with some business stuff. You have this person that you tell, you're a friend, smiley face, you're so different, you can come to my house for local pickup. If that person, by shopping with a friend of theirs, made you so uncomfortable that it was a big deal that you had to blast it on social media, even after I apologized. Corrine said that made them feel uncomfortable, and I fucking apologized. I said it won't happen again. But they still, 3 months later, wanted to bring it up. Watch the video that I made about the narcissism. The covert narcissist will remember things to use them later, even after you've apologized. It's absolutely insane. How is Corrine supposed to have a brick and mortar store if people can come and knock on the door, I guess, without giving them a week's notice, or doing a background check on them or something? Good luck with that. Good luck, really. Any normal person should not go into that brick and mortar store, because you never know if Corrine is harboring some like bad vibe, and if you buy anything from them using a form of credit that has your address, they might decide they didn't like the interaction and they might post your whole address on social media and dox you. At least if you go in, use cash so they can't like track you down. Because, well, not track you down, but if you use a credit card, I believe they get your address, which Corrine has shown no remorse for doxing me, and so understand, like, how is it that someone who's so close in your life, you get a bad vibe, they apologize, and you blast it on social media, and then you're going to have a brick and mortar store where anybody can walk off the street and come in and come shopping. Like, how could you possibly emotionally handle that? It makes no sense. Well, I'll tell you why. Because the thing Corrine told about me and my friend when we went shopping was a fucking lie. Okay? That's how you know. Because a business owner who's that terrified based on the circumstances is not going to open a brick and mortar store. They're more likely to go 100% online shopping. Like if they had that bad of an experience that a close friend went shopping and brought a friend with them, and it was that bad of an experience, and then after they apologized, Corrine still had to blast it on social media as if it was like this terribly bad thing that was so traumatizing and stuff for them. That type of person, if that were true, they would not go and open a brick and mortar location. You understand? So the hypocrisy runs deep. The reactions, entertaining the open carry threats that I should stay away from anyone in Arizona because people around them carry, and like Corrine's wanting to spin all of this to things they didn't say. That you really got to watch out for that, and I will be making videos about this. For example, Corrine did write that about the open carry stuff, and all they said was like, well, if somebody's uncomfortable with us discussing laws, then that's their problem or whatever. Like, that's not what they said. Okay. And they also didn't just laugh. They also wrote like, and they did say like, I'm sorry that I laughed about a gun joke. Like, it wasn't a joke. And they didn't just laugh about it. Go watch it. The person writes, the dude needs to trend away because people close and who care about Corrine carry. The next thing Corrine said, Corrine reads that message and then says, that's what I'm saying. You understand? Go watch it.